give or take some design variations for different manufacturers, all laptops kind of look generally the same. But what you might not realize is that nearly every single aspect that makes a modern laptop look, feel, and run like a laptop is directly because of Apple. And yeah, I know that that sounds like a really fanboyish thing to say, but it is 100% true, and today I'm going to prove it by taking you through the chronology of every Apple laptop that has shaped our modern world. But to do that, we need to start at the very beginning.
Whether it's your first computer or an integrated network for your own.
This is the original portable computer, the good old Osborne 1.
The year is 1989. And after months of speculation, Apple is finally ready to announce their first ever portable computing device. And this is it, the Macintosh Portable. And I know what you're thinking. By modern standards, this is not a laptop. In fact, what it is a portable Macintosh, a full desktop computer that fits in a briefcase. But ironically, while this was Apple's first portable computer, shall we say, it really doesn't look or feel like a modern laptop. And sure, yes, part of that is because it's 36 years old, but the bigger portion of that is that this was from a time where manufacturers didn't really know how to translate the computer, which had always been on a desk, to something that you can bring with you. But if there's one thing that you could count on Apple to do in those days, it was to move fast and learn their lessons the hard way. And in 1991, Apple announced this, the PowerBook 100. And you might notice it is significantly smaller than the Macintosh Portable, but it has one key difference that shapes the entire concept of a laptop for the next 34 years. Can you guess what it is? I'll tell you right after a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by 8 Sleep, a technology-driven sleep company offering advanced smart mattress covers and sleep solutions designed to enhance recovery, energy, and overall health. I've been using 8 Sleep for over a year now, so I was super excited when they told me they wanted to sponsor the channel and send me the new Pod 4. It slips over your existing mattress and the cover connects to the hub for easy setup. Their app guides you through the process of filling the pod with water, and you're ready to unlock a new kind of sleep. Pod 4 heats and cools in 2 zones, keeping you at the perfect temperature all night, and it collects advanced sleep tracking data to better learn your sleeping habits and adjust to improve them. Personally, I like a warm, cozy bed when I fall asleep, but prefer it to be cool throughout the night so that I don't wake up sweaty. And with 8 Sleep, that is super easy. You can easily change the temperature at different points in the night. Plus, I can see a full breakdown of my sleep quality with information about sleep stages, quality rating, and health metrics like heart rate and breathing rate. 8 Sleep can increase deep and REM sleep, decrease snoring, and improve sleep quality. So get started today by clicking the link in the description below and use code LukeMiani for a discount. Big thanks to 8 Sleep for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to it. The PowerBook 100 series was a massive leap forward compared to the Macintosh Portable. And ironically, the entry-level PowerBook 100 was at its core a Macintosh Portable. It was the same computer shrunken down into this package that weighs 6 pounds instead of 16 pounds. But the biggest innovation, the one that really stuck, is this, the palm rest. That's right, the Macintosh Portable has a keyboard that looks like a desktop keyboard attached to this machine. It just sort of ends. But as Apple worked on miniaturizing these devices and getting them down to a size that you could actually use them on your, lap, they realized something. If the keyboard was at the front of the device, you had nowhere to rest your wrists. And that is where the palm rest came in. It served 2 purposes. Number 1, to move the trackball from the side of the keyboard to the more central location, and 2, to provide that blank space that you could rest your wrists on while typing, meaning that wherever you use this computer, you could have a consistent typing experience. But around the same time as the PowerBook 100 series was coming out, a new technology aimed to reinvent how we interact with the mouse on our devices. See, all the early laptops use a trackball, which on its face is a very simple technology. It was invented in the 1950s, and it was basically just turning a mouse upside down. If you take the trackball out, inside it you'll find 2 rollers, and those rollers determine the X and Y position of the mouse. So as the trackball moves, you're turning those dials and thus determining where the mouse goes on the screen. It's a simple technology, and it worked perfectly well on all early graphical user interface computers, from the Apple Lisa to IBM to these early PowerBooks. But a company called Circ had come up with a new technology, which uses a grid of electrodes on a pad to measure the position of a finger. It's a technology that we know today as the trackpad, but the founders of Circ had tried pitching this idea to dozens of different companies, and nobody seemed all that interested until they met with Apple. And so in 1994, Apple introduced the PowerBook 500 series, and it is the first laptop to feature a touchpad. By today's standards, it's laughably small at just about 2 inches diagonally, but it's surprisingly good, even by today's standards. The precision offered by this capacitive trackpad is far better than any trackball of that time. It also eliminated moving parts. On multiple occasions, I've had to take the trackball out of my PowerBooks to clean out the cogs and make sure that the mouse will work properly. But in the mid-1990s, something else was happening.
On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet.
The internet was taking the world by storm, and more households across the world were connecting to it. But in those early days, connecting to the internet meant, well, you know how it goes. Now, this wasn't a problem for desktops of the time, or now even, because they don't go anywhere. They live on your desk. But the whole point of a laptop was portability, and with an increasingly connected world, it didn't make sense that you'd have to plug in a cord every time you wanted to go online on your portable laptop. But technology was moving fast, and with Steve Jobs' return in 1997, a lot of things were happening at Apple. And so just before the turn of the millennium, Apple announced the most unconventional laptop ever made.
iBook is the name of this product. This is what it is.
This truly is unlike any laptop that ever existed, and I know what you might be thinking. I'm trying to make the argument that Apple invented every single feature that makes a modern laptop look modern, and this doesn't look anything like a modern laptop. But under the hood, this is a very big deal because the original iBook was the first laptop to feature built-in Wi-Fi.
And maybe I'll go to Disney here. You know, I can come on over here. Let me show them show these guys how it works.
It meant that for the first time, you could access the internet from your bedroom or your kitchen or your couch.
No wires. No wires.
You didn't have to go sit down at your computer and connect to dial-up AOL. You could just open a laptop and get on the net. Not to mention, you'd look cool doing it because this was really one of the most radical laptop designs I've ever seen, and I will forever be mad that Apple decided to replace this beautiful monstrosity with this. Really, Steve? That's the best you could do? But despite the iBook's late 90s quirkiness, it's clear that the building blocks of the modern laptop are falling into place. And with the turn of the millennium, Apple took another gigantic leap.
PowerBook G4 Titanium. This is it. It is remarkable. Let me open it here. Look at this. It's incredible. Let me just show you how thin this is.
The PowerBook G4 is one of my all-time favorite laptops. And let's be honest, it's the first laptop we've talked about today that actually looks modern. And one of the big reasons for that is its display. The PowerBook G4 was the first laptop to feature a widescreen display.
Unbelievable mega widescreen.
After years of 4:3 aspect ratios on not just laptops but desktops as well, this was the first time that widescreen became truly popularized, and frankly the industry never went back. And not just laptops, but desktops and TVs as well. This was really the starting point for the switch to widescreen across the board, making this arguably one of the most influential products of all time. And so it's no wonder that when you take a step back and look at the PowerBook G4, it's frankly hard to fathom that this machine is 24 years old. It looks so modern by today's standards. These bezels are thinner than some devices that you can buy right now. And so again, when comparing these two devices, we have a paradigm shift. Like the Macintosh Portable to the PowerBook 100, in just 2 years, Apple had completely shaken up what a laptop looked like. But it's clear in hindsight that the PowerBook G4 was really on to something, because things frankly haven't changed that much in the 24 years since this thing came out. But there is still one more device that I believe was a foundational building block for the modern laptop, and it came out 7 years after the PowerBook G4.
We're introducing a third kind of notebook. It's called the MacBook Air. This is the new MacBook Air.
Of course, who could forget the iconic manila envelope ad? It's one of the best advertising campaigns of all time. And while this laptop was created to be the thinnest laptop in the world and in many ways invented the modern Ultrabook, it had a number of other key inventions as well. You'll notice when compared to our older PowerBook, the trackpad is enormous. And that's because the MacBook Air was the first MacBook to feature a multi-touch trackpad. These are features that are so integral to a modern laptop experience that I bet you don't even remember the last time you loaded a website that had a little bar on the side that you went over and clicked and dragged down with your finger. It's just not a thing anymore because of this laptop. And the MacBook Air also introduced a completely new way of building laptops. This is the first unibody MacBook, and that is a technology that is now so widespread, it's almost harder to find a laptop that doesn't have it. It made laptops thinner, lighter, more attractive, and even more durable. So when you lay it out on the table, quite literally, it's not hard to see how over these last 35 years, Apple has completely shaped what we consider a modern laptop computer to be. And the thing is, at the core of all of these innovations isn't necessarily an invention. They didn't invent the widescreen, they didn't invent Wi-Fi or the trackpad, but what they did was package these devices and popularize those technologies in a way that really resonated with people. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, the trackpad had existed for years before Apple integrated it into the PowerBook. But after they did, it became an industry standard. Same thing with Wi-Fi in your laptop, with a widescreen display, or with multi-touch gestures and a unibody enclosure. Apple was almost never first to a technology, but what they did was implement it in a really thoughtful and effective way that appealed to the most people, and that is what made it stick. So is it innovation or is it marketing? Call it what you will, but at the end of the day, the impact is undeniable. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this story. It's something that I've been working on for a while, collecting all of the different laptops that I needed to really effectively tell this story, and I hope it's something that you resonated with. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and of course be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one.